going to be slave to like the airport host,
Okay.
which is going to be firewall like fucking 13 or something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't stat out the
But
airport.
basically, I will not be. But basically, when they are slave to a host, I will not be able to hack them wireless unless I'm inside the host anyway first.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
So back to the interrogation room. And by the way, as soon as you put your hands on the desk, the guy's going to be like, "And yeah, don't try any funny business. We've got your number."
I'll give him another smile. I'll look around. It's probably just a mirrored room, right?
Yeah, it's just a closed room.
Okay. I've got trodes, but I'm assuming they've taken our comlinks.
No, they haven't taken anything off you yet.
I see. Well, I'll turn mine off.
Okay. So seeing as nobody's answering him, he's going to say, "You guys got anything to say for yourselves?"
How big do I want to go with this? I'm going to begin calling Alan Pierce, who owes me a favor, and I'm going to hope that Alan can BS this guy enough to convince him that KE has a reason for me to be traveling to Greenland.
To Greenland. It's a stretch. Oh boy.
I'm undercover. I'm undercover, that's why.
So I want to get one thing clear. You're sitting across from this guy, and you take out your comlink, put it to your ear, and start calling someone.
Well, I don't have to put it to my ear.
He says he's doing a DNI call.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're calling Alan Pierce on DNI, and you kind of get that vacant expression.
I might
One second. I need to call my handler.
I have a question for you, Will.
Yes?
Some time ago, Warden got caught in a sting. On that run was Onryo. And Onryo managed to get every single one of our sins flagged as KE undercover agents. Or, I'm sorry, it was FBI undercover agents for the UCAS. That was on this sin. If that comes into play at all, let me know. Otherwise, that's really all it was. It was flagged as this. I don't think it might happen for the Border Patrol. I think it was for the Knight Errant security force.
So yeah, I'm not going to be carrying that over
Okay.
because I don't know the details, and that sounds kind of finicky.
It is, yeah.
But Alan Pierce is going to pick up the phone, and he'll be like, "Hello," or he'll message in text, "Hello."
Alan, I'm calling in that ship you owe me. I need you to convince these border agent guys that I'm undercover for the KE as I'm traveling to Greenland, lad. It would be a great help to me. And you owe me after I helped you, not once, but twice.
So he's going to be like, "What do you expect me to do?"
Use your considerable sway and influence that mine and the rest of the Shadowrunners brought to you by taking down the Blood Mage organization.
He's like, "You want me to admit to a border security guard that I hired Shadowrunners?"
No, lad, I'm telling you that I am undercover KE. Tell them that I am traveling under fake sin because that's what I would do to blend in with the disreputable crowd.
He's like, "Right. The only problem is we wouldn't have given you fake sins. We would have found a way to get you legitimate sins. Just the wrong ones."
Well, tell them there was a mix-up then or something. Blame it on intern incompetence. I actually have, Alan actually owes me a favor because I was on the first one, and I actually got a chip from him that was like a favor. So
sure, a contact can owe you a favor, but if they're like incapable of doing anything to help you, it doesn't.
This is my only shot, was trying to have him convince them. If he's incapable, then he's incapable of helping me. Then
Right. So he's going to
And
be
I already
like,
called Ricky. Ricky can't do anything unless I can call Ricky again and say, Ricky, they arrested me. I need you to do something.
so basically, the Knight Errant detective is just like, yep, listen, Knight Errant is a corporation. The guys who run those border security checks are military. I don't really have a lot of pull with them. And it is at that point that the guy sitting opposite you will look at you and say, I'm sorry, am I boring you?
No, I'm just trying to get a hold of someone who can explain the situation to you there, lad.
He gives you kind of a wry grin and says, I can explain the situation just fine. And he's going to take out a white noise generator and put it down. And he will say, listen, kids, I haven't been doing this. I'm not new to this game. I know you Shadowrunners. You know you Shadowrunners.
Warden will stay quiet, but he tilts his head.
He nods and says, yeah, I don't hear any disagreement. But listen, you give a little, you get a little. Maybe I can help you out.
Now, he put a white noise generator down, right?
Yeah, he basically did whatever you need to do to make sure nobody's listening in on this shit.
Yeah, well, we could still be recorded through the glass.
It could be, but you would imagine. Well, actually, you can imagine whatever the hell you want.
All right. Well, I'll, the comlink's still on the table. I'm going to turn it back on and make a matrix perception check.
Okay.
I'm sure he just wants a bribe, but that would be convenient. And Warden, when he sees something that's too good to be true, it typically is. Hold on. Okay. Just checking on computer. Ugh, I'm much worse at that than I thought. Okay, so this is just a matrix perception to check for cameras and other such devices nearby.
So, with that matrix perception, you see a lot of icons nearby. You're not sure what each of them is, so you can find out two of them with those questions.
Sure. What's he has a badge on?
Yeah, he has like border security insignia stuff.
Mhm.
I can give you a name for him if you want.
Sure.
One moment. But he's basically taking your silence as just like, yeah, he's got your attention. And he's going to say, well, listen. You guys are clearly amateurs. I mean, he points at you, Warden, and he says, I mean, your sin, right, it kind of looks like you, but this track is obviously fake. There's no background data to this at all. And he looks at you, Mac, and he says, and this one doesn't even look like you. So I already met my quota. I don't really get anything extra from you guys getting thrown into lockup. But I'm thinking that would interfere with whatever plans you guys got wherever you're going. I'm thinking maybe you give me something, you owe me something, I'll get you where you need to go. Of course, those sins will be fucked, but that's the price of doing business.
That was my judge intentions roll.
So you think he's telling the truth. You don't think he's doing entrapment or anything. You think that he's kind of a dishonest border patrol man and just thinks he can get more out of you with your cooperation than throwing you in jail.
Well, lad, if you want something from us, and we're all willing to offer it, couldn't you ensure that these sins stayed sins then?
He chuckles and he says, "I like your spirit trying to negotiate in this situation, but you don't got a leg to stand on, kid."
I'll pat Mac on the back. Like just a, a soft hand to be like, shut the fuck up, Mac, shut up.
So it ain't just me that's seen
Mr.
that those sims are bullshit. My men have seen it, gone through the system. I can smooth things over, get you where you need to go, but you ain't going to be able to travel on them again.
So what was his name?
His name is KCT Benson.
KCT Benson. Let me write that down because I'm pretty sure it's going to come up in my future. All right, so KCT Benson. Mr. Benson. Clearly, but we've run into some snags. What did you have in mind?
He looks you over, and he says, "Well, seeing as you guys are traveling on such shoddy work here, I'm guessing you guys ain't exactly living it up, swimming pools of cash style. But when you're type of traveling, you're usually traveling for money. I'm thinking, we stay in contact for a while. You give me, well, when you come into some money, you give me a little bit of what you got, and you owe me a favor or two. Always good to have friends in unique places."
I agree. It is good to have friends. He'll give Casey a smile. How would you like this to play out? You take the sins, you get us on our plane. We stay in touch. What keeps us from going into the wind?
He smiles and he says, "I got international authority, kid. I know how to find you. You frag with me, you're done."
Warden nods. Now he said owes some favors.
Yes.
Okay. All right. We give you a cut of our current job. You pull in a favor or two. We maintain a working relationship, yeah?
That's exactly what I'm telling you, but thanks for repeating it back to me, kid.
Just making sure we're on the same page.
He
Okay.
nods and
So,
says,
in
"Will
this
sound
case,
good to you?"
game mechanically, we gain this person as a contact. We owe him, not the other way around.
So
also,
it's not
he
going
gets
to be a contact. Well, I guess it could be, but yeah, he's not ever going to do anything for you. You can write it down however you need to. I don't know if there's a negative quality for this, but he's
I feel like there should
in
be.
mechanical terms.
That's a good one.
This guy basically, he's got your auras on file. He's got your faces. He's got shit on you, and you guys are going to be processed before getting out of here.
So we could get criminal sins for this, which is what I assume would happen. But he doesn't want to do that because he wants us to maintain our anonymity, so he could use us later.
Right. So it's either be in debt to him or get arrested.
Get arrested. Yeah. Well, yeah. Obviously, we're gonna have to say yes. So Warden will nod and he'll put his hands back on the table.
So he'll look at Mac.
He'll turn and nod to Mac. I'll give you the eyes, man.
Fine then, lad. You put us between a rock and a bloody hard place.
He grins and says, "Well, maybe you guys can learn from this. Get better at your jobs. Think of it as a positive experience."